All right, hey everybody, Jeff here. Let's see. I figured I'd give a overview of some new things that got in this week. One of which came in today, which was exciting. I thought, well, this will be enough to be worthy of a video. So let's get started on this. So last weekend I went to the store. There's a couple stores around here that I go to all the time, and this is one of the ones where everything in all the vinyl is like $5, and if you buy three, they're $4. So $12 for three. So I always feel compelled to go for the deal and find a third record. So I was flipping through some of the new releases, and this popped in, and which I'm sure nobody knows who they are. Anyway, it's a band called 441. Now, they're a Christian kind of pop band from the 80s. I didn't discover them until the second album called Morning to Dancing. And that I listened to back in the 80s. It's, very, keyboard oriented pop rockish. And I really, really, really enjoyed that album. Later in the years, I found that they had a first album, and I thought I had a copy of this digitally, but I can't seem to find it. But anyway, I believe this is actually an independent album. There's no record label or anything, and it's just got distribution information. But so the second album, I guess they got picked up. But anyway, both albums, I believe, have been reissued in the past maybe 10 years. The band put them back out, remastered them and stuff, and so they're still somewhat floating around out there. But anyway, and it turns out it's in the shrink wrap, sealed and everything. So I haven't even opened it. This is one of those things where I'm debating: do I open it? Do I sell it? I really like their second album. I'm pretty sure I probably would like their first. I checked online though, and this is selling. Even this edition, there's a version this way, which it's not on a label, but I guess there is something inside their own label name, and then there's a version where they actually, I guess, got a distributor or on a label. So I thought, well, this one's the one that's not on the label. It's still sealed, might be worth something, but it looks like online this is $10 or less. So it's not worth anything. I'm probably going to rip into it just because I think this is going to be a blast. Like I said, I really enjoyed their second album. Definitely a different, genre. But anyway, so that's from what I usually listen to. That's what I'm trying to say. Then I found this. Now I already have this. This is Randy Stonehill. The Sky Has Fallen. Solid Rock Records. Larry Norman. You can hear him. He sings on here. This is like Randy's third. It's one of his earlier albums. I found this a while back, and I believe that the copy that I had, was kind of rough. And so when I saw this and I opened it, I'm like, wow, this one looks really nice. The vinyl looks really clean. So I thought I'm going to grab this as a replacement, an upgrade. I got home, pulled out my other one, and looked at it and said, oh, I was mistaken. The one I've got is really clean. So I played it, and one of them, this might have been the one I played. I have to go back and look. It skipped in like one spot. I didn't take the time to stop and see about fixing the skip, but it's in really good condition. Sounds really good. Less surface noise. I mean, this is from what year is this? 80 or 70 something. Oh, anyway, I don't see. Anyway, I'm a big Larry Norman fan. Randy Stonehill. I don't know as much about him, but I pick up records like this when I find them. So anyway, I have a second one now. It's in really good condition. Anybody out there who are into the this type of Christian music, into Randy Stonehill? Anyway, I've got it set aside as potential VCLT for whoever I may find that might enjoy that. So then I'm scrambling. I need to find a third album. And I couldn't find a third album. So I went over and looked in the jazz section. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some jazz. I don't have a lot of jazz on vinyl, and I wanted to get some. Then I was over looking, because there's different types of jazz. If you're into jazz, you know that. There's old big band jazz. There's contemporary modern jazz. There's jazz fusion, stuff like that. I always tend to fall into the category of enjoying the modern jazz, little jazz fusion. I would have to say the first jazz band I really discovered was Spyro Gyra. So whatever you want to call them. That's contemporary jazz to me because it's not big band jazz. It's not, it's sax driven. And then from there, I got into Billy Cobham, amazing drummer. I like his stuff from the '80s the most, and he's continued to put out good stuff. Yes, I got into Kenny G. I love Kenny G. I loved all. I kind of. It seemed like he hadn't done a whole lot in the '90s, but oops, there goes my light. All right, we're gonna do this in the dark. Actually, let me see if I can fix this. 1 second. All right, not the best ideal situation, but my overhead lamp that I was using for recording died. I have to fix that. Anyway, so like I was saying, contemporary jazz tends to be what I like. I listen to a lot of stuff like that, the Rippingtons, things like that, Dave Koz. But I've also, back in the day, always used to listen to a lot of big band stuff too. And when I was living down near New Orleans, I went and saw the Tommy Dorsey band live. My parents, they went. I went with them. Oh, phenomenal show. I don't think Tommy Dorsey was still alive, but it was his band. Anyway, saw one in the Blue Room down in Louisiana. Great show. Anyway, all that to say, I picked up Swing, Swing, Swing by Benny Goodman. Now, there's multiple albums called Swing, Swing, Swing. I don't know. I guess that's just because one of his famous songs. And this is more or less a compilation of songs recorded live over the years. It's in the 30s. So, I mean, it jumps around from 35, 36, 37, 38. So it's a compilation mainly of a bunch of live tracks. Now, the other thing that caught my eye on here that I thought, well, I got to get this. Gene Krupa plays drums on a handful of songs. I thought, okay, you mix Benny Goodman and Gene Krupa, I'm going to get that. And then when I checked it, it doesn't have a date on it, but when I got back and looked it up, the album was actually released in 1960, which is nice. That means it's older than me. And when I opened it, I mean, did anybody ever play this? I mean, it was super. Oh, you can't see that. Why am I even showing you that? Needless to say, it is clean. I brought this thing home, popped it on, and it sounded sweet. I have some CDs somewhere. I have some Benny Goodman CD and people like that. Glenn Miller. So I do like big band. But I've never had any of it on vinyl, aside from that big band one that I got a couple weeks back. But this was cool, so I grabbed this. They had a couple other Benny Goodmans there that looked like they were more modern reissues. I like this one because it looked like it was older. I wanted the nostalgia. And like I said, this was released in 1960. It looks like it never been played. I listened to it. It was great. My son came in when I was listening to this. He goes, because he walks in and he's like, why do I feel like I just walked into a 1950s cartoon? Because if you're anything, if you listen to old Looney Tunes cartoons, soundtracks to the Looney Tunes cartoons were a mixture usually of classical music and big band stuff. So this is the kind of music you hear on that. But anyway, I listened to that and it was great. And so I do want to get some more of that. Then I made a purchase. I'm trying to think which came first. I made a purchase on Facebook for this one box that I'm going to show. And then I guess because I got into that, mindset of that band, I found another one of the things that popped up on Amazon for a good price. It was one or the other. They both came around the same time. Anyway, I'm talking about Saxon. So this popped up. This is the new reissue. It's on the really cool blue splatter. If you can see that pretty well. This is the new reissue. Now this is weird. It popped up on Amazon in the used section. It was used good or very good. I don't know. It didn't really give any details as to why it would have been classified that way, except for it said something like something about mild mark on the product and something with the packaging, something damaged. I don't know. I got it and it was sealed, totally shrink wrap sealed. It had the hype sticker on it, so it wasn't like they resealed it. I mean, there's nothing I can tell about this that's not brand new. It's brand new. It was shrink wrapped, sealed. So I don't know. I don't know why it got marked down. There's no dings. There's nothing on here. It's a new record. But the price went down to I forget how much I paid for this. Like $10 or something. And this normally goes over 20, close to 20. Anyway, this is where it started for me. This is where I discovered Saxon. Saxon's denim and leather, still pretty much my favorite, nostalgic reasons. But this is the first one. This is when I discovered them, and then went back and picked up their old stuff. But So it was really good to have. And I'm not necessarily looking to get them all on the reissued remastered, but because I did buy the Power and Glory last week or so, and it was the original release. But I figured for this, the price, yeah, what the heck. So then this is what popped up on Facebook the other day, and the guy who was selling it had it listed a few weeks ago for a bit more, and then I guess he relisted it and he sold it for less. And I looked it up and I'm like, okay, that's about the price you're starting to see him sell for, but with shipping his price was good enough to go ahead and grab. So I grabbed the vinyl Horde by Saxon. It was totally still sealed. I just opened it up a little while ago, haven't even listened to it, but I wanted to do this. It's it was sealed. It came with the hype sticker and everything. So, and if you're not familiar with this, basically there's another box set that this is live albums, and then there's another one that's got studio. So it's basically 4 live albums, each one's double. Dogs of War tour from '95, the Lionheart tour from 2004, A Night Out with the Boys from 2005, and Rock Sound Festival from 2006. So did a quick comparison just to see. So here's what it essentially this is what we're getting. This was the Dogs of War. It was released as the Eagle Has Landed 2. Eagle Has Landed being part 1 being their real famous live album back in the day. So this came out, Eagle Has Landed 2. Well, that is labeled on here as the Dogs of War Tour 1995. So here's a CD. It's a double CD. It's got all them songs on it. So basically they put that on the 2 vinyl. Yeah, same songs. Then the next 2, the Lionheart Tour and the Night Out with the Boys, are both part of this set. This is the Eagle Has Landed Part 3. It's made up of 2 CDs, and then each one of these CDs is double vinyl in there, because the first disc on here is considered the Night Out with the Boys. It's a bunch of random recordings from 2004, 2005, and then the second CD is the 2004 Lionheart Tour. So take those 2 CDs, put them on 2 other vinyl. Then the fourth one is Rock and Sound Festival 2006, and honestly, I couldn't find where that had been released. I don't have a copy of that. It's released now because of this set, which came out in 2016, but I didn't have a copy of that previously, and I think everything Saxon's done. I don't see that that's been released. I don't know if it's under a different name. I matched up songs. I looked through all the songs I had by them in that time frame, live albums and stuff, and so I'm assuming this is a fairly new reissue. But like I said, you can find this as a standalone now. So all of these sets, all 8 of them, are on gold vinyl. So that's neat. Demon Records. Now, again, I haven't listened to them. I assume they sound great. The one thing I don't like so far is the artwork. All of the records, all 4 of them, have this same design. Different name, different pictures. But this is just really bland to me. Considering how Saxon album covers are always so cool artwork and everything, this was a kind of a loss. They could have put, I don't know. Obviously this is not super great either, but it's better than this. I don't know. This is just real generic. They are gatefold. They always have just other pictures on the inside, and then a collage here, which is typical rock collage. The back. So they all have different pictures, but I don't know. The artwork itself, it's not popping. It's kind of, the contrast seems a little off. It's like it's kind of got a haze to it. The pictures are not real crisp. They're just, the colors, it's just, overall it looks bland. It's almost like it's got a film on it. And like I say, considering how their artwork for their regular album covers tend to be really cool, I thought that was kind of a letdown. And all of them look the same. They're all, they're not the same. Like I said, it's the same design. There's nothing, different pictures, but not really any different design. So I don't know. cool to have these on the vinyl. It is cool that they're on double. It's cool that they're on gold. It's cool that they're in a box set. But that was a little disappointing when I opened that up and saw that it wasn't, you know, they could have been more creative than that. But, you know, whatever. That's just a personal complaint there. But, anyway, yeah, so that's it. Got some, you know, got a lot of Saxon to listen to now. It was cool. Great stuff. So anyway, that's all I had for now. Thanks for watching. Rock on and have a great evening.